Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe to the channel and leave a like. Steelers will forget about Aaron Rodgers if NFL draft whispers are true. The Pittsburgh Steelers' desperate search for a quarterback has been a lingering storyline since the close of the 2024 NFL season. While speculation around future Hall of Famer Aaron Rodgers sparked hope among fans this offseason, no deal materialized following a 6-hour free agent meeting in March. The lack of clarity surrounding Rodgers' 2025 plans has left the Steelers in quarterback limbo. This could soon change, especially if the latest rumors about Shedeur Sanders' draft stock prove true. The Steelers have lacked a reliable gunslinger since Ben Roethlisberger's retirement, and last season's inconsistent quarterback play only amplified the urgency to find a long-term solution. Rodgers appeared to be the most high-profile option available, and the franchise's willingness to meet with him reflected their desire to explore all avenues. Still, the uncertainty of his health, age, and commitment made a potential partnership too risky. As Rodgers continues to leave the football world guessing, Pittsburgh's front office may be gifted an unexpected opportunity, one that could define their next decade. That opportunity comes in the form of Shedeur Sanders. The former Colorado standout ended his collegiate career with an impressive 7,364 passing yards and 64 touchdowns. He also demonstrated poise, accuracy, and elite football IQ. Sanders' combination of pedigree and production has made him one of the few high-profile quarterbacks in the 2025 NFL draft class. The New Orleans Saints, picking at number 9 overall, were widely considered Sanders' most likely landing spot, especially after Derek Carr's shoulder injury resurfaced as a concern. But ESPN's Adam Schefter recently reported that the Saints may be leaning in a different direction. "I don't think New Orleans is taking Shedeur," Schefter stated. "They are hot and heavy on Jackson Dart." If true, this development could dramatically alter the quarterback landscape on draft night. Pittsburgh, selecting 12 picks after New Orleans, would instantly become one of the biggest winners of the draft if Sanders slips past the top 10. With limited proven options at quarterback and an aging defense still capable of competing, landing Sanders would not only address a critical need, it would reinvigorate the franchise. While Rodgers' name still commands attention, his delayed decision-making only adds to the frustration. The Steelers can't afford to sit and wait when a young, talented quarterback might fall into their lap. Shedeur Sanders represents more than just a draft pick. He symbolizes a fresh start, a cornerstone, and a commitment to the future. If the rumors are true and Sanders is still on the board when Pittsburgh is on the clock, the speculation about Rodgers will become an afterthought. The Steelers won't need to borrow time from an aging legend, they'll have their own. 2025 Steelers Interest Study, Offensive Line. For several years now, I have kept a personal running spreadsheet during the draft process. The goal was to learn about the players through information gathering. I will share a visual and some takeaways from the data points I create each year, simply called interest and athletic scores, with explanations to follow. As Dave Bryan and Alex Kozora discuss regularly, the Steelers have a type of player they look for, and what the scores attempt to achieve is seeing who checks many of those boxes, or vice versa. You will notice many of the inspirations for these scores come from their studies of Pittsburgh's draft trends over the years, and have fared well in who Pittsburgh has ultimately drafted. While there is no perfect way to predict the 2024 Steelers selections, I feel great about what the data points measure and, of course, would love to hear feedback. Also, there is only so much time in the day, and additional things I'd like to measure, so I focus on the crucial and/or practical choices. Now, for more explanation on how the scores come together. The biggest point I want to make is that this is not a big board or round projection view, but rather trying to pinpoint names the Steelers may select regardless of when they are drafted. After I get a healthy pool of names that I hear about or research, I begin the scoring. Interest score. Here, I configured a points system for the following important factors: college performance, body type, experience, age, position, competition level, pro day attendance, pre-draft meetings, and senior/Shrine Bowl invitation/participation. Athletic score, simply 11 combined metrics, excluding wingspan, and whether or not they were within a threshold in each metric of any player drafted at their position by the Steelers since 2013. Pro day numbers are only included if the player didn't do the drill at the combine. Clear as mud? Let's start with offensive tackles, that were combine invites. Note, if you don't see a name, please ask. I have many more non-combine players compiled but excluded them for a cleaner chart. The top interest score is Ohio State's Josh Simmons, 8.8, tied for 34th in the entire draft class. Highly attended pro day, HC Mike Tomlin, GM Omar Khan, OC Arthur Smith, but an asterisk with their slew of prospects. Performance, size, age, and experience are other solid marks. No meetings. For athletic score, missing an arm length, checking the other measurement boxes, and the bench. All but one snap in 2024 were LT, first rounder. Steelers tied to Arch Manning in head-turning quarterback rumor. Most teams in the NFL have either already addressed their off-season quarterback needs or plan to do so this week at the NFL Draft. For those belonging to the second category, the selection of a play caller will likely come with some sort of long-term vision. The Pittsburgh Steelers do not find themselves penciled into those groups. They signed Mason Rudolph in free agency but watched both Russell Wilson and Justin Fields walk to separate teams. Pittsburgh has also taken part in the Aaron Rodgers waiting game, which has proven a fruitless effort. That leaves the draft as the default option for them to acquire any additional quarterback insurance. But one insider has advised fans to not expect any major answers to these questions in the coming days. Steelers radio network host Jerry Dulac posited on The Rich Eisen show this week that the team has its sights set on identifying their next franchise quarterback in the 2026 draft. Rich, I firmly believe that the Steelers are all in on a quarterback in 2026, Dulac said. That is based off what I have heard and what I have been told. Looking ahead, next year's class will have some enticing quarterback prospects potentially headlined by Arch Manning. From that angle, another year could be worth the wait. And of course, unbeknownst to many, Manning, the University of Texas prospect, might not even come out next year. Meanwhile, Steeler Nation may grow impatient with more of the same in 2025. Since Ben Roethlisberger retired, the Steelers have not shown an ability to nail down a replacement at QB1. Several different experiments have led them to nothing. The 2025 class is relatively underwhelming at the position. Beyond the top 2 or 3 prospects, the Steelers would be ill-advised banking their future on any of the remaining quarterbacks. Now that does not mean they should avoid the position altogether. But their franchise quarterback will likely not be found this spring. And you, fan? What do you think about Arch Manning's situation? Write to us in the comments.